Let's give this old pumpkin the 1-2 punch. They're empty. 2 Glock 26s. Yeah, Hickok 45. It's Glock 26 day at the compound. Hey, that was fun. So let's go up here to the table and see what we have. And by the way, we link. But today we're going to look at 2 Glock 26s, mainly one that's a little bit customized, okay? And just kind of compare and you know, shoot and talk about it. How's that? That was 124 grain federal ammo. Thank them for their support. Boy, we've gone through a lot of 9mm ammunition in the last month. Gosh, the last couple of weeks, I think about 1,000 rounds. But anyway, what we've got here is, this is from Gun, Sons, and Ammo in South Florida. And they do the Guerrilla Customs, as you can see there. And want to know if we'd be interested in trying one of their firearms. So I said, I guess, I asked some questions about it. What do you do to it? What's it look like? And they said they stipple them. You know, the frame was a big thing. And I've always wanted to try that. And, you know, Robar offered to do a gun for me. I just hadn't gotten around to it. I've just never fired one of these with the stippling done like that on the frame. And you know me, stock is rarely good enough when it comes to a frame on a polymer pistol. I mean, virtually none of them really have the friction I want. That's why I've always used the friction tape, and I love Talon grips. So I wanted to try that. So I said, yes, be fine, send us one. And if you don't need it back, and they didn't, so it's our gun. So, tell you what I think about it. Pretty good grip, I noticed there, you know, one thing, I don't recommend a lot of dual wielding, you know, but, you know, we do it just messing around. Well, messing around safely. Like there, occasionally. Before I shot, and I didn't practice it or anything, it was a miracle I hit the thing. But I noticed, I felt like I had a really good grip on both of these firearms. Even with the short grips, there was no problem. It felt good. I knew I was secure and all that sort of thing. So, and you know, you got 2 guns shooting at once, you got one in your weak hand. You know, it becomes more of an issue, okay? So next time you're dual wielding, keep that in mind. So what do we have? Like I say, Guerrilla Customs, hard chrome slide. You notice is the big thing there right away that's different. You got high vis fiber optic sights on it. Those things really pick up, and they've got their cute little plate back there, of course. But the hard chroming, and let me take it apart and show you. You notice how that came off? You got a hard chrome slide. They polish the trigger. That's one of the things they do. And the barrel and everything. It's like it's beginning to wear already, and I fired it a fair amount, but not too much. It's I mean, it seems to work. It's a Glock 26. Basically, with a Glock, this type of firearm, you're looking for something that changes things and causes it not to work, because we know they work and are reliable. So you got it all inside and out, hard chromed, and I would guess in South Florida this is even more popular than other parts of the country because of I think there's isn't there a big body of water down that way that might have a little salty water in it, so that becomes more of an issue, I guess. Although what I've read and know about, the stock, you know, Glock does really well in sandy or salty environments. That's one of the things about, I guess, doing this to your gun is it does have a cool factor. I have to say, I really wouldn't mind. Well, I guess I do have one now, but I really thought over the years I wouldn't mind having a 2-tone Glock. I look at them and think that's pretty neat, you know, pretty neat. And you know, as long as that hard chrome stays on there, and you know, it's not a negative thing. Makes it a little bit more slippery, but it's a Gen 4, so you still get a pretty good bite. I think it went back to sharper serrations on the Gen 4s, or somewhere around before the Gen 4 actually, because the ones that were made back in the early 90s, and I don't know, or the 90s on up around 2000, I forget now what that frame was, because I had written Glock 2 or 3 times during that time period and said you got to do something about the finish on your slides. I mean, not that I was anybody, still not anybody, but I just let them know I hated them, because the early ones had a good bite there, and then now they do again. Anyway, enough on that. So Guerrilla Customs, what else they do? That stippling is of course a big thing. And you're probably wondering what I think about the stippling. Okay, I've shot it a fair amount, and I like the stippling pretty well. I don't know if I do that to my guns. It's, you know, again, we're just going to point out the pros and cons. As you know, it doesn't matter where a gun comes from, whether it's a T&E or it's a freebie or it's John's. If John gives me one of his guns to review and talk about, I'm going to tell you what I hate and what I don't hate, okay? And if John shuts off the camera, you'll know why he did it, right? Because I'm insulting his gun. No, there's some things I like about it and some things I might not like. I kind of like the stippling. I could live with that, but again, I'm not sure I'd want to do that to all my firearms. Once you do that, you've got kind of a, it looks a little odd, you know, and you've done that to your Glock, so I'm not sure about resale. Theoretically, it would make it sell better, and you could add to the cost, right? Because you've spent money to have that done. But then I would guess a lot of people wouldn't want it. A lot of people would, and some wouldn't. It's that kind of deal. It's kind of, you build a pool in your backyard, and it's a little bit harder to sell your house, even if it's a nice pool. But that is, it feels good. And that was one of the main things I wanted to check out. I like the stippling just fine. Now, I don't know long term. I guess that polymer is pretty tough. We all know on a Glock. I don't guess that's going to change or smooth out where you'd have to like rework it or do it again or something over time. I don't know. Whereas with the Talon grips, of course, and I'm not, you know, trying to sell Talon grips. I don't make anything off Talon grips. You can just take them off, because I do that every now and once every 6 months or a year, whatever. Depends on how much I handle or carry or shoot the gun. I'll just put a new set on, and then it's like new. I would assume that's going to stay kind of like it is. Now, you notice I did shave off what they do on their firearms. They leave a hump here, a pretty good size hump, which I don't like, and I did grind that down. Since it's, you know, my gun, I went ahead and ground that off. So that needs to be, you know, that's in the way. It's really in the way, because I do this to every Glock of mine. You know, Gorilla Custom and everybody else that does that did not invent that. In fact, I might have invented it. I've been doing it for 20 years or 25 years. You see, if you take that on this one, I did 15 years ago maybe, because this is that old Glock 26 I used to compete with in GSSF matches. So I did that a long time ago. So you want that smooth. There's no need for anything rough right there, and you don't want the hump at all. So I worked on that a little bit and took it off. Okay, so anyway, I like the stippling though, so I'm not trying to be too critical or overly critical of it. It feels good. You get a good grasp on it, and when you've got a small gun like this, that's even more important. And of course, as you saw, it's all hard chrome. Let's put that back together. Hard chroming, I don't know. You know, I can live with it, live without it. I actually kind of like the looks of it. More so than maybe the actual idea or the concept or the need, you know, for it in a Glock. Just depends whether you feel like you need that or not. Now, the other thing's different on this gun. Let me take a couple of shots with it, because I haven't really shot it much. It seems to shoot okay. It's got a good trigger. They polished up the trigger. See, this mag came with it, kind of a +2, which I normally don't use, but you know, they're not bad, because that holds 12 plus, well, 12 I think. Let's take a couple of shots with it. All right, nice trigger. Oh, yeah, feels pretty good. I could live with that trigger just fine. Now I'm putting a Glock 19 mag in there. That's what I always do when I'm shooting. Whoa. And we're on the bottom. It's so interesting what 2-liters do. You never know. It's pretty good. No problem popping those plates. In fact, I was shooting at earlier today with it, and I knocked one of them off, broke the weld. So it might have some unique capabilities. Gorilla Customs may have built something in there that gives it more power. I don't know. It broke one of my targets. Let's go there at the gong. As you know, these little pistols, they're amazing. hit the ram, but didn't knock him over. They shoot just as well as the big ones. They really do, and you got a pretty good trigger on that thing, so it is a good shooter, no doubt about it. A couple other things I didn't mention. You got the kind of the extended slide stop, I believe that part. Yeah, it's called. I don't much care for those, but you know, some people do, and all those have been either polished or hard chromed. And you got this kind of the extended slide lock down here, and you notice if you have that, and at least on this gun, I don't know if it's because it's hard chromed, that might be part of the reason. You can just pull down on that and release the slide. It comes off. I don't know, John and I have not decided whether that's too easy or that's really cool. But I mean, the slide's locked. It's just like the other one. It's locked just fine. I'm so accustomed to having to pull that back to release the pressure, you know, to release it, that it's kind of weird to just do that and it comes right off. So in a way, it's simple. Seems too simple, but you do have to grasp both sides of it and pull downward for it to happen. So okay, that's up to you. You be the judge. Okay, you be the judge on that. And one thing I don't like, another thing I don't like though, is the extended mag release. But of course, you can have different things put on these things wherever you get them done, whether it's Guerrilla Customs or anywhere. You can take that off. But one of the things in fact, I carried it a day or two, messed around, shot at some. What am I looking for? A magazine? I probably have to have one in it. But if I have a magazine in it, I'm a little concerned about slide release or mag release like that, getting against it, and you know, just the pressure, you know, releasing my magazine. I go to my gun and it's loose. So for a carry gun, I'm not crazy about a big old mag release like that. For competition or, you know, for shooting, it's nice because it's really easy to get to, but it sticks out there pretty much. Okay, so that's a minor thing. You know, you can change that out, and I'm sure they'd put a smaller one in or leave the stock one in, you know, whatever. So what else do I like or not like? I kind of like the looks of it. It's a cool gun. Glock 26 is, in a lot of ways, just an ugly little gun. If you think Glocks are ugly, well, 26 is just a little ugly one. It does give it some personality, no doubt about it. You know, the hard chroming or whatever kind of finish that gives it that look. If it were brushed aluminum or brushed nickel or whatever, this is hard chrome, and it feels good. Oh, the barrel might be wearing there, but it's a good-looking little gun. Those sights jump out at you, and if you got in the configuration you wanted. If I were going to carry it, I would feel fine just carrying this. I would feel very well armed because it has a great trigger. The sights jump out at you, and I would just need to get the mag release off of it. I can live with a slide lock. I don't prefer that particular type, but it's okay. All right. So anyway, seems to shoot well. Let's shoot just a little bit more. I'm gonna use a Glock 19 magazine again. It's kind of what I do. It's like, why settle for 10? Although, as I have mentioned before, if I am carrying a baby Glock, it's not going to have an extension. It's going to have the flush magazine. That I want the full advantage of that small grip, that concealability. And I'll put it back in the holster. Stealth Gear USA holster there that I really like. All right, what have I not shot? I don't know. How about the cowboy? Gun. I really like the trigger. Oop, I thought I had more ammo, and I don't. I'm out of ammo, John. Let's go over and get one more magazine. Let's play with that trigger a little bit. I said one more. I think I'll stick to that. Sneak a loaded magazine in there. All right, let's put it back in the holster and go down here and deal with these desperados. All right. Okay, let's deal with some desperados. Draw slow motion. Where I was going. going under it. That's right. That feels good. Oh, you know what? I missed on my last shot. I can't do it, John. Let's go back over and get one more bullet. I just don't want to miss my very last. Oh, let's put that one in. I was going to just shoot one more, but look what, that magazine is loaded, so that'll work. Let's just put some more in the pumpkin. Okay, so anyway, that is the Gorilla custom job. So I wanted to bring you, I thought, okay, it might be interesting to some of you to show you a customized Glock. Not something I really do, generally speaking, but you guys ask about these sorts of things, and I know I turn a deaf ear a lot of times, so I try not to every time, and get some things in that whether I'm crazy about them or not, might have some interest to some of you. So if you want a good looking gun, you know, something hard chromed or whatever finish like that, you know, it is available, of course, even in an ugly Glock. And depending on whether you think it's worth it or not, something you would want. The Stippling, boy, once you do that, you've got it. I'll have to say that takes care of the grip problem. There's no doubt about it. It's not cheap. I think you know, to have all that work done, the Stippling, of course, takes a couple of minutes, don't you imagine? I think they used a soldering iron on that. Somebody, you know, without a lot of other things to do that day, didn't do that. So the whole thing on this is about $600 if you send them your gun, and or you can buy a gun with these things done to it. I think for around 11, a little over 11, and I think they offer a lot of different options, but I don't know exactly what all you can get. You can check. We'll put the website in the description. So decent gun. You know me, I'm probably more likely be carrying this one, just because that's the way I am. That's the way I roll, generally speaking. But as you can see, it shoots well, and it's a good looking gun. So anyway, take that for what it's worth, because life is good.